Welcome, everybody, to the Moneyline Madness podcast. This is a divisional round edition, but it's a bit of a somber edition. The two guys head up on top of me here are very disappointed about what happened last night. We're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the two games tonight, and if there's any hoops we got mixed in, we'll get that too, but more football. And obviously, we're going to start with yesterday. I want to ask both of you guys how you're feeling about, 12 hours? About 14 hours removed from the end of the game.
You want to go
Double R edition. The double R edition. Double R. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. To double R, I have a different reaction than everybody else entirely, right? Like, so to Raheem, I tip my cap. He was in our comments, always a supportive and respectful viewer. So to him, I tip my cap. But the other Eagles fans, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, we straight up got stomped out. I mean, honestly, to me, it was things started looking grim when Saquon Barkley got nowhere on that 2nd and 5. And we ran the ball for 2 yards. I had a bad feeling. I had a bad feeling. They said he's, oh man, this is tough. This is tough. I don't know about, I mean, listen. It is what it is. It happens, and we'll be back. That's what I can guarantee. We'll be back. So, Timo, go ahead.
All right. Well, you guys.
This is what the people have been waiting for.
Everybody's been looking for me. Everybody's been asking for me. Here I am. Once again, I'm back, and I'm not scared to step up to the podium and say we got our ass whipped. We got our fucking ass whipped. There's no justifying what happened last night. It was just a domination. It was domination.
That's the word. Total domination.
Point A, point B. There was no excuses. We got our ass whooped, but that doesn't take away from how proud I am of the New York Giants and how good of a season we had, and the progression of our rebuild is looking great. We're having the most cap space going into.
I mean, the progression's been expedited. This is 2 seasons, maybe even 3 ahead of where people anticipated this team being. So, I don't know. I'm definitely proud of what they did this season. I'm proud that we finally have a head coach. After going through McAdoo, after going through Shermer, after going through Joe Judge, it's nice to finally have a head coach. Yeah, Shermer, that seems like a fever dream, right?
That's a name, man. That just sticks in your head.
These guys are just, I mean, it happens, these lows in franchises happen, but it's nice to see we have a foundation of a coach, of a GM, and I'm excited to see what $62 million could get us going into this offseason, because that is the 3rd most cap space in the National Football League.
The 3rd most, and we have a lot of picks. We traded Tony for a couple of 3rds. We have enough trade capital and salary cap to trade for D-Hop, and that's what I think.
That's really the move I want.
One priority for the Giants going into the offseason is acquiring Hopkins. Danny Jones needs that number 1 guy.
He needs that guy,
and obviously to extend Jones and Saquon to somewhat team-friendly contracts. Leonard Williams just said today that he's willing to take a pay cut to stay on the team. We're going to have to do a lot of contracts.
Yeah.
I think we can get Enigma from Ohio State, the wide receiver, late in the 1st round, and that will shore up our wide receiver core. I think we should get a good linebacking core in this offseason and maybe get another interior lineman or so.
I mean,
because we got dominated.
I'm keeping this up for 1 second because of the word that you used, but what else are we supposed to say? Do you want me to come on here? I still think that Daniel Jones is going to prove next season again why he, as he did towards the end of this season, why he is a top 10 quarterback. And I think he is in that 8 to 10 range because that's wide open. That's wide open. I don't know what else you want from us. You literally have Simo coming up admitting, taking, tail between the legs type vibes that we're coming up here with. This hurt. I don't know what else you want. As Giants fans, we were happy that he couldn't. And that's credit to a great Eagles team.
And look, I also want to say I don't apologize for a fucking thing that I said over the past year over since the beginning of the start of the season this whole year. I don't regret saying shit. I still think Danny Jones is a top 10 quarterback in the league. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I never ever said in my life that motherfucking Jalen Hurts is better than Daniel Jones. So I don't know where y'all got that made up story from. Y'all can still kiss my fucking ass, and we'll be back next year.
And I don't want to pretend with this narrative.
We'll be fucking back and back way better.
There was this narrative too. I saw that like somebody said like the Eagles weren't supposed to be here. Like this was it. Like you guys went 13-0 first. Like you should have came in and won these games. Like these should be wins for you. I mean, is he better than Tua? That's tough. I mean, right now I would say yeah. I would say yeah. I mean, then again, one has a brain that could barely comprehend basic,
I would just take
math.
Danny Jones off over Tua just because of the injury over the concussion. But like, I don't even care about that.
Well, this was the main thing I saw yesterday. I saw a lot of people talk about Daniel Jones and like he played terribly. The whole team played. I mean, give me a facet of the game where the Giants played well, and then tell me it was Daniel Jones.
It was a bad game. But
it
look,
was.
Look. One more thing too. Motherfuckers want to pull up clips. Eddie wants to pull up clips, but motherfuckers didn't want to pull up the clip or the part of the podcast a couple of weeks ago before the playoffs started, the playoff preview episode, where I said the Giants are going to make it past the Vikings and then lose in the next round, realistically. That's what I said.
I mean, Ed also doesn't want to comment.
But I knew what it was. I knew what the Giants were going to do. And
Ed
you know
doesn't
what?
want to comment
I'm happy about my
team.
team. And I'm happy that my team is in a great position to go into this off season, and we're looking real fucking good, and we're here to fucking stay. So get fucking used to the New York Giants and our fucking loud ass mouths, because we're here for the next generation with Dave's. So fuck out of here.
I mean, everybody was no shows to double R. Pretty much, other than like we said, Gilliam was the only guy who showed up because he had to.
Julian Love also, man. Julian Love was hard last night. Hard. He was hard.
They were, yeah.
I mean, one thing that Ed doesn't want to comment on is the fact that he's been pretty friendly with Eagles fans, slandering the Giants, but he also thought the Washington Commanders would be better than this Eagles team. He said that on the pod. He said they were going to win the division.
Win the NFC East.
Like, that was crazy, and we just pretend it doesn't happen because he's buddy-buddy with the Eagles fans now slandering the Giants. I mean, it is what it is. Takes happen. And that was bad.
He's still sticking by it. Good for him. You're wrong, but you're sticking by it, and I love it.
That's
awesome.
Disgusting.
No,
that's a nasty bag.
Like I was saying, I mean, people have been harping on Daniel Jones. Like, yeah, it's the quarterback's fault in a lot of instances, but like, you can't just have a good quarterback and win. You can have a good system around them, and any quarterback can win. So clearly, the Giants, the guys around him, they didn't play well enough last night. So that was the reason. I mean, as a team, they played terribly. So I mean, it's unfortunate because you definitely wanted to see a good game, but when you get dominated like that, I mean, what do you want them to come on here and say? Like, oh, they got cheated. Oh, the Eagles, they barely beat them. They didn't.
I do have one thing that I thought of. One thing that, I was looking at and I was a little annoyed about, and I didn't even notice it during the game. I noticed it afterwards watching just highlights and stuff. There was a little bit of an offensive pass interference on that first Dallas Goddard touchdown. I don't know if you guys.
I was surprised. The thing about it is the way that they run that play. They hide it from the ref, the way they ran the play, and they did a pretty good job of it. The ref couldn't see that it was a pass interference. I mean, all right, like you can pinpoint things like that,
but like obviously, that's not making an impact.
You're not making excuses. It happens.
Grand scheme.
Double R. He doesn't have to touch him if he gets in his way.
No, he did.
He on the play.
He did. They did the little cross, where he gave him a little, elbow.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And we get a comment here. Where was Saquon? I mean, did you not see the front four of the Eagles absolutely ripping apart the rookie Evan Neal? I mean, a guy that first year in the league.
Evan Neal got dominated. I can't lie, bro.
I mean, no, like straight up, he got dominated
on that line. I mean,
yeah, these are guys that are solidified in the NFL as Pro Bowl, All Pro type of guys, and we're asking a rookie, Evan Neal, to come in and stop him. I mean, I said it in the group chat earlier. It's not even like you could double team one of them because the whole line is that good. You have Hassan Reddick, who is shredding through. I mean, that was disgusting last night.
Games are won in the trenches. That's how it goes. And the Giants just had no shot there yesterday.
Yeah, they got outplayed in the trenches. And that's where it all starts. And the only person I could say that held their own last night in the trenches was Andrew Thomas, obviously. But
Great guy. Georgia Bulldog.
other than that, fucking Neal got dominated. Glowinski got dominated. Feliciano got fucking dominated. They all got dominated. We need to do some work on that interior offensive line.
We didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, going into the season, nobody was expecting the Giants' offensive line to even be playoff bound. You know, in that aspect, the offensive line has been the weak point for the past 5 years of this team. So now seeing
Since
that
the last 2 years of Eli, man, it's been terrible.
Literally. So now, I don't know. I mean, it's nice. Obviously, they got out-talented and outclassed in the trenches, but it's nice to see that the Giants have the foundational pieces to start building upon that. You know, the Eagles had those foundational pieces, and then they went out and got more. They went out and got Robert Quinn. You know, those types of things happen as you build around your franchise and you have those cornerstones. The Eagles had that year with Sirianni last year. They now got their cornerstones, and look where they are. So I'm excited to, you know, build upon this process and see where
the Giants this year look exactly like the Eagles last year.
You could say that. I think that the Eagles' talent level is just a little bit better than the Giants was last year because, frankly, I think Jalen Hurts is a lot better than Daniel Jones.
The Eagles didn't win a more game last year.
No, they got killed in the playoffs.
They got killed by
they had no shot in that game.
Last time I checked. So I'm being friendly. So,
you're right. Yeah. I think, look, the Eagles, this is their window. To be honest, and I'm sure Double R knows it too, their windows this year and probably next year, they have an old defense. I mean, their best corner, Slay, I believe he's been in the league for a little while. I think he's getting older.
Oh, yeah.
CJ Gardner-Johnson's amazing, and he's going to be amazing for a while. I don't know how they got him. That was incredible. But their entire D-line's older. Fletcher Cox is, I don't know how long he's been in the league, but it's been a long time. Dominic,
but it's easy when you just got, you know, yeah, exactly. You got
Brandon Graham's been in the league for a little bit. So, I mean,
depth,
they're windows now, and they're showing you why they're windows now. They're really good. In terms of the teams left, I don't think anybody's beating the Eagles right now. I don't think.
And there's also one thing I want to say on that, because I'm seeing now, Simo got heavily slandered for his take saying that this, you know, Giants team was giving him nostalgia. Now, for every one of you Eagles fans out there posting that, 5 years ago today, this is 2018 where it's happening. If you guys lose, you're going to get this same heat. You can't say this is giving you 2018 vibes and not go and win the whole thing now. You can't. You have to go and you have to win this Super Bowl, or else that's, you know, a failure of a season. It is what it is.
The only way they don't win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, is they play Kansas City. Because Kansas City's O-line is the only one that's probably going to have any shot to stop that rush. Because if they played the Bengals right now, I think it'd get ugly quick because Ndamukong and Suh would be in his face. Graham would be in his. They would own the trenches in that game. So
yeah, and
you have to match it up. Nobody in the NFC. I don't think either of the teams tonight are beating the Eagles. That's just
this Niners team is good, man. I think it could be war. And honestly, if it's the Cowboys too, divisional games, you just don't know.
I guess I just don't think the Niners. Look, I'm sure you guys saw that they announced that he's going to be their starter next year, Brock Purdy, which. Good for him. I mean, that's incredible, but it's very possible. I'm not trying to say the Bengals are a bad team, but that O-line is terrible. That O-line has been a revolving door for years. So.
But the thing is, sure, you could say the Eagles probably the most talented team in the NFC right now, you know, but listen, they put themselves now in this spot. Like, last night seemed like a Super Bowl to them. And, are we going to lie and sit that, sure, you know, the shit talk of beating a division rival has a lot to do with it. But listen, this whole 2018 vibes thing, I'm going to be taking note. If you guys don't go win this Super Bowl, we're on that ass. You know, we're on that ass because now it's an expectation and not just, this could be a good season. You have no choice but to go out and win the Super Bowl now.
I'm not disrespecting his team. I just think the Eagles are that much better than the other two teams tonight. I think the Niners are a good team. I just think the Eagles are that much better than those two teams. The AFC, I think the champion's going to come out of the AFC. I think the Chiefs or Bills are going to win it because I just think those teams have the better. But first of all, they're going to play in a neutral site next year. That's going to be a game of the year candidate if the Bills win tonight. Sorry, I mean, I think the Bills are going to win. I know we haven't gotten to that.
Bills versus Bengals. I mean, I got a couple of bets. I got 3 bets for the Bills Bengals tonight. I think it's going to be a fucking banger. It's going to be a hell of a game. I think
it's in an hour, so that's exciting.
It's in about an hour. I might just live stream this game, honestly. Maybe I should just live stream this game. I think that'd be fun.
Way better. How the Eagles are way better than the Niners?
I mean,
talent.
Like, if you lose, you still accomplished a lot. Like you still lost. That's the thing. The Eagles were 13-0 at that point. If you don't win a Super, like the Eagles were 13-0, and then you're saying it's giving you 2018 vibes. So you kind of have to win it all. It's not a successful season unless you win it all for the Eagles.
I always go back to college with it. Like, this is a comparison. Compare the national championship, all right? That's what the Giants-Eagles game was last night, right? Somebody put that in the comments before. Yeah. Georgia TCU, that's what that game last night. TCU had a successful season. They won. If the Eagles had lost last night, if Georgia had lost the national title, that's a bad season for them. The Eagles lose last night, that's a bad season. They didn't accomplish anything. The Giants were TCU. They weren't expected to be there. They earned the right to be there. It was a successful season. That's why it's successful. I don't care that they didn't win. If the Giants have expectations in the next 2 years to win the Super Bowl and they don't do it, that's a failure of a season. This was not that season. I didn't expect them to even make 6 wins, I think it was, but they did.
Now that sets up for expectations for next year, though, because I do expect the Giants to win 10 plus games next year and to compete for the NFC East.
Oh yeah,
and to compete with the Eagles and not get fucking smacked around next year. I do expect that.
Depends on what they bring in, because they do have to bring things in as well.
No, we got too much cap space, too many picks, too much moves to make. Fuck that. We gonna remember this season.
I said it. The Eagles are faster than every other team. I think their talent level, especially on offense, is better than everybody. That's how, Ed. I think they're just a better offensive team than everybody. I think with the way that Sirianni's coaching right now, he'll come up with a plan to stop Brock Purdy in that offense. I think that how are the Niners going to stop that offense right now? Because that Eagles offense, when he's humming and it looked like Jalen Hurts was humming, they're on.
Yep. But all right. Enough is enough.
Let's go to the Bengals.
All right,
because I want to hear Simo's bad season talk about.
Those Bengals. I'll start off with a bet. I like Cincinnati Bengals team total over 21.5 points. You can get that at -104 on Barstool, Unibet, Bet Rivers, however you want it. But I think this game is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a game of fireworks. Obviously, this game got cut short last time, and before that, the Bengals went right down the field and scored on them.
Yeah.
Right down the field. Like, it wasn't even, it was like it was easy money. All right. I expect that same type of energy going into tonight's game. And I think Josh Allen is going to match Joe Burrow in whatever he does, which is going to create a shootout type environment.
I like
it. You could literally copy and paste everything I said from the last time they were going to play that Monday night game to now. I think it's the same. A lot of scoring. I probably have the same picks. I have the over and I have Joe Mixon scoring a touchdown because Joe Mixon plus money to score a touchdown, which is amazing.
I have Joe Mixon's receiving yards, so you could even parlay that right there.
Yeah. So that you could copy and paste what I said. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring, probably a lot of attempted running by the Bengals, and I think they're all going to throw a lot. I don't think there will be much. I think there'll be a lot of possessions in this game. Each team will have the ball very long amount of times. I think it'll be very interesting.
I got a pick for you guys, and this one's a little interesting because I don't know how often I come on with this prop specifically, but I'm going Stephon Diggs' longest reception over 25.5 yards, right? Ask me why. Eli Apple. That's it right there. Eli Apple gets toasted consistently. Now, I'm not saying that, he's going to come out and Stephon's going to put up 150 and 2 touchdowns, but, a longest reception of over 25.5 yards for a guy that's average depth is between that 17 to 21 yard mark. I really like this for Stephon Diggs, especially against a guy like Apple who likes to play aggressive, but usually gets beat against those top tier receivers in that type of game. So I like it. I like it for sure. And then I'm going to go, Andy, I'm going to parlay those actually, as we were just talking about, see what I could get for some odds, because I do like Joe Mixon today. And I think that Buffalo's going to try and bring that pressure to Josh Allen or to Joe Burrow. I'm sorry. And he's going to have to get it away quick, whether that be, little dump offs, little screen type of game. So if you take those together, his anytime touchdown at plus 140, and then that other prop at minus 114, you can get plus 262. So yeah, I don't know. I like that. And Eli Apple has been a lot better, but he still does get overly aggressive and try to get those interceptions, and I think it could burn him today.
Which Diggs prop did you take again, Matt? I'm sorry.
Longest reception, over 25.5 yards.
Okay, so
He
I have
had what, a 60-yarder last game.
Yeah.
I have another Diggs prop for this game. I have over 6.5 receptions at plus money, plus 110 on Bet365. He's hit in his last 2 games. I think he's going to be targeted often, very often, and he's going to be very active, and he's going to get a lot of volume tonight. And Eli Apple is not fucking with Stephon Diggs. I'm going to just tell y'all that right now. I don't give a fuck how good he's gotten.
That was my guess. I would guess Eli Apple won't be his primary defender, but you never know. I mean, Hilton could be his primary guy. Eli Apple could wind up on him.
They have weapons. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many different weapons in that Bills offense. Another one I'm going to rock with.
Schmilton, Apple, Snapple, Bills.
Bills Mafia. I'm taking Dawson Knox any timer, plus 170.
Yeah, I was thinking about
I like the value with that a lot. I think, if there's a part of this Bengals defense that's a little softer, it's going to be that they're susceptible to those tight end game. And a red zone target that you see literally anywhere from 25 to the red zone, or to the end zone. Dawson Knox seems to be that guy for Josh Allen. So I like the value of that too, plus 170. I was even thinking of adding in there a little Bengals like plus 8, something of that sorts to kind of juice it even more, because I love the value of plus 170, but I also think that the Bengals are going to hang in this game. And not only did they get a generous 5.5 in my opinion, but I think you could even push that a little bit more and be safe on that to get some more juice. Knox has had a touchdown in 5 or 6. That's what I'm saying, especially in the playoffs. Josh Allen really, really likes him in the red zone. So take that, and let's say plus 9.5, right? And you could get plus 351 on that. So I like the value for sure.
I like that one. Dawson Knox and tight ends are really big in the playoffs. That's something. But tight ends are really useful in the playoffs, especially for a Josh Allen who's been throwing a lot of interceptions. Play it safe by throwing it to your tight end.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Other game, obviously.
This game.
Cowboys-Niners. So, I mean, key to the
By
game
the way,
for
the
the
Bills
Cowboys.
win the game. I'm sorry. Bills win.
Yeah,
I
have the Bengals. I think the Bengals pull this one out too.
Well, who you have, Andy?
Bills. I think Bills.
All right. Go ahead. My bad.
Just Cowboys-Niners. I mean, what's the key? If the Cowboys want to upset this 49er team that is just red hot right now. If you want to, what does it get to Brock Purdy? Is that it?
I don't know.
They're going to have to get a lot of turnovers. I think Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs are going to have to at least force 3 turnovers combined.
They're going to have to force him. They're going to have
when's the last time defense even had 3 turnovers? Have they had that under the Purdy era?
They're going to have to force him to throw the ball farther than 10 yards down the field. Because if he has to do that, they won't win. But if he only has to throw about 5 yards and then they can run the rest of the way, they'll win the game by 30.
Purdy's going to have to throw 2 picks, and McCaffrey's going to have to fumble at least once in order for the Cowboys to win. I'm telling you that right now. If San Fran takes care of the ball, there's no way the Cowboys are winning this game. I'm talking about no fucking way.
And also, the Cowboys also have to keep up with them in any way. You need to know what Dak you're getting. If I'm the Cowboys and I win the toss, I want the ball first because I need to know what Dak I'm getting today.
Yeah.
Because if he goes out there and throws a pick right away, game's over.
I'd love to see it.
Watch out, and I know this sounds silly. I don't think the Cowboys have a kicker today. He had to get a national television, a wild card game.
Yeah, they're going to be going for 2 all day.
I don't even think that. If they get to like the 40, they're not kicking 50-yarders with him right now. So
Nah, he'll kick the ball and he'll have a comeback game, but they're going to lose tonight regardless.
It'll be in their heads, and I think it'll shorten the field for the Cowboys.
I'm not going to lie.
He's kicking in garbage time and shit, and he's going to make it when there's no pressure.
Yep. I'm taking a Brock Purdy interception today. I can't lie to you. I think he's due for one, and just because he hasn't seen a defense like this Cowboys, I'm not saying that I still don't think the Niners lose this game, but I do think that today is the day that he throws an interception. And for minus 114, I really like the value of that. As Simo said, they are going to be applying pressure and forcing the ball out of Purdy's hands fast. I think today's the day that he makes that mistake and throws one. So, like I said, it's nothing too crazy odds-wise, but minus 114, I like it.
He was named the starter yesterday. They said he's the starter for 2023, so a lot of confidence in him, clearly.
He has to kick the ball, but if he misses one, they're not going to let him kick again. Yeah, probably. I agree.
Probably. I think Twitter would go erupt if he misses the first one.
Yeah, we'll have the
because
memes
it was
fired
going
up.
crazy the other day.
Yeah.
I got an easy layup bet for us for this game. I got George Kittle over 3.5 receptions. That's at minus 146. Yes, the juice is worth the squeeze here. Kittle is just a dog. He has been, ever since he's came back from his injury, they've been targeting him more and more and more, and he's been more and more involved with the offense, and I just think that continues today. Vander Esch is not going to be able to handle fucking George Kittle.
Just back from injury, right?
Huh?
I think Vander Esch is just back from injury too.
And he didn't have a good game. He definitely didn't have a good game.
George Kittle, bro. They better put Micah Parsons on him or somebody. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do to stop George Kittle, but he's gonna get his 4 receptions. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I put a unit in half top of that to make up for the minus 146.
Okay.
1.5 units on that.
I'm rocking tonight. Tony Pollard. Over his line is sitting at 18.5 receiving yards, and I like it because you look at the last time that the Cowboys faced a team that gave them the pressure, similar to the way that this 49ers team is going to apply that pressure. And against the Eagles, he actually tacked up 61 receiving yards. And then you look at a team like Jacksonville, he had 4 receptions, 30 yards. So I like the trends of guys that have a strong front 4 up front. I'm taking the opposing, running backs receiving yards. I think there's going to be a lot of dump offs. I'm seeing the same thing, obviously, I said with Joe Mixon. They're going to be applying pressure. Dak's going to look to get the ball out of his hands fast. And I think Tony Pollard, being a big part of this offense, is going to be the recipient of those balls.
Who said Ed looks like him?
Ed looks like Debo? Is that what? Damn.
Is that true?
I think Debo goes
I would hope
today.
he just
It might be a Debo game.
Debo getting a touchdown today. I can see who else? Who else was I looking at?
Kittle action? No, that was Rashawn.
Definitely Kittle touchdown. I like. Maybe Kittle 2 touchdowns.
A little Kittle 2-piece. I mean, I like it. Honestly, I like it because, like we're saying, Micah Parsons is going to be mainly worried about Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey. This could be, the game. That's the thing. The 49ers just have so many weapons that you just don't know. And plus 750 for George Kittle, and then plus 800 for Debo 2 touchdowns. I like the Debo odds right there. I can't lie to you. And Christian McCaffrey, I think they're just going to try and take McCaffrey away.
I'm not leaving him out though. I have CMC's over. I still think he's amazing. He could run for 100 in his life. I got him over 67.
Elijah Mitchell. I like Elijah Mitchell touchdown. That's at plus 260.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not the best odds, but like you could tell the value is there because like
Christian McCaffrey
easily. They give it to Mitchell rushing in the end zone. They don't give it to McCaffrey. They give it to Mitchell. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot.
I think the first game is going to be the better game.
I think so too.
I thought the last game yesterday was going to be the better game.
You don't know. I mean, I think everyone's just been waiting on this game. Ever since obviously the DeMar situation, everyone's been waiting for this matchup, and it's gonna be a fun one to watch. We got about 45 minutes to get in there. Joey B. Joe Cool. I am Andy. I'm sure as you remember, I'm hopping back on the Bengals bandwagon. Last year when the Giants, obviously didn't make the playoffs, I got a Jamar Chase jersey and hopped on the bandwagon. I'm breaking it back out because I'm riding with the Bengals.
There you go.
And I can't root for another NFC team, so I'm gonna ride with the Bengals and hope for the best.
So what happens if the Bengals lose? Are you full on cheese?
In the Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
If the Bengals lose, then it's Knicks basketball season. That's mine.
Got you. It's 67 days to opening day. 66 days to opening day, by the way.
Yeah. Also, we're going to have to talk about very, very soon the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, dude. You see the graphic for Dominican Republic's lineup?
Oh, these teams are stacked.
This is going to be the best WBC ever. It's going to be insane.
Yep. Yeah.
Sanga's Puerto Rico.
Sanga's in it. Yeah, Sanga's in it.
Sanga's in it for Japan.
Yeah,
Lindor's in it for Puerto Rico.
Bro, we'll pull up the rosters because it's actually like
stacked at least though.
Oh yeah, no.
The U.S. dude, Trout's playing.
Trout's the captain. Trout's
the captain.
Year.
Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso.
You're really trying to play ball.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Well,
and MLB players now.
Yeah,
They're
USA obviously is Trout. I'm not sure if Bryce
Arenado's
Harper's
playing third.
Yeah, and then you look and you got on the other side, was it Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic? Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor,
Puerto
Javi
Rico
Baez.
and Lindor,
Like,
yeah,
it's
Lindor
gonna
and Correa
get
playing together.
crazy. It's gonna get crazy. So
Yeah,
I'm super excited. Yeah,
It's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
be live. I don't know where we could get.
Every 2 years.
Yeah,
like that.
every 2 years. Yep. And Marcus Stroman actually was the MVP for the USA last time. He's now playing for Team Puerto Rico this year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, he chose to play for Puerto Rico. Well, actually, he didn't choose to play for Puerto Rico. The U.S. didn't want him. So
well,
that's,
yeah.
I think, how that went.
GG's. But, all right, we'll be back talking about that.
Yeah,
appreciate you guys for tapping in. Double R, I mean, even Ed, we appreciate you guys.
Even Ed.
Even Ed was a good guest today.
Yeah, Ed was a good guest today, even though he caught a stray for looking like Debo. It happens. You know, it happens. We appreciate you guys, and hopefully, a good day of football.
Yeah,
That's going to do it. We'll catch you guys later. And
Go
fuck the
Bills, right?
Eagles.
Let's go Bills.